Thank goodness this woman is not my representative. Jasmine Crockett has insulted Governor Greg Abbott in his paralysis. So I want to play that for you. I want to play his response to that and some more of the crazy things that she said or done. And I also want to talk about how he became paralyzed from the waist down and how much money he received off of it. Let's check it out.
Because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
I mean, it's clear what she's talking about. We all know Governor Abbott is in a wheelchair. Why else would she call him Hot Wheels? There's no other way around that. So she tried to cover it up afterwards. This is what she had to say. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants to communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable. Literally, the next line I said is that he is a hot mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition, so I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. They always have to bring Trump into this. They always have to bring President Trump into this stuff, into everything. Everything goes back to Trump for these people. But this is something that they tried to, whenever Abbott was sending illegal aliens to the sanctuary cities, to big blue cities. Look, some of these places happen to be run by a black mayor. It's not like he was targeting black mayors specifically, because these places have sanctuary city policies. Chicago, New York, they were in place before Eric Adams was mayor of New York City. So it had nothing to do with the mayors being black. So yeah, let's go to this. This is not the first time she said something like this. This is back in 2022 when Jumpin' Jack Flap Beto O'Rourke was running against Governor Abbott for the governor's seat, which he got clobbered in the election. The new nickname I have for Beto is King of the Clapbacks. Beto is rolling all around the state. Where is Abbott rolling to with eyes? I mean, these little jabs like that, you know what she's doing. So she just seems like a very, I don't know. She doesn't seem like a nice person. Let's put it that way. So here's Governor Abbott's response to this comment.
Action.
Well, Sean, is another day and another disaster by the Democrats. The reality is they have no vision, no policy. They have nothing to sell but hate. And Americans are not buying it. It's one reason why Texas is going to remain red and why Republicans are going to continue to win elections across the country. The fact, Sean, is that Texas is actually in direct contrast to what she was talking about. Texas has ranked #1 for the most new jobs in America over the past month, #1 for the most new jobs over the past year, and for several years. Texas ranks #1 for the most new economic development projects for 13 years in a row. CEOs who run businesses have ranked Texas the best state for doing business for 20 years in a row. And Texas is in the vanguard as it concerns the future of the United States, such as space exploration, such as artificial intelligence, such as semiconductors, as well as power generation. The bottom line is that Republican states like Texas are leading the way, and with comments like this by Democrats, we will just leave them in the dust in future elections.
And by the way,
I like that response. He doesn't seem fazed by it at all. He knows that with him being in a wheelchair, having his condition that he does, he knows that there are people that are going to attack him. But his response was the best response he could think of. He didn't insult her. He just said, hey, look, Texas, the state I'm running, is doing very well, and jobs created. We have all these things going on with SpaceX. We have CEOs consistently ranking us the best place to do business in. And there's a reason why Governor Abbott received so many endorsements from business leaders across the state when he was running for re-election. Look, I live here, so I know, I see it firsthand. We have a lot of companies coming in because of the tax policies here. It is a great business friendly state, comparatively speaking to New York, California, Illinois. We have lots of corporations in Dallas and Houston. So yeah, there's a lot of job opportunity. A lot of small businesses start here. We have SpaceX. We have lots of the oil industry is big here, obviously. So there's a lot going on in the state of Texas, for economically speaking. So that was the best response he could have said, in my opinion. He didn't shoot low like she did. He said, "Hey, we're doing very well. I'm running the state, and we're going to keep winning here in Texas." And he won in a landslide. Basically, every election that he's been in, all 3 times he's run for governor, he has won in a landslide. So I thought that was very good. And I want to play more of what Jasmine Crockett has said in the past. Here's what she had to say about Ted Cruz.
How do you win elections in Texas as a Democrat? What do you do?
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. You know, I think, and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right?
I mean, Steve, like, to just choose the verb punch,
I know.
and then knock over the head. It's interesting language choice.
Of course, and but you can see that this for her is working, right? This kind of
She could have used a different wording instead of being punched, and Ted Cruz needs to be knocked over the head. Whether she meant, I think she meant, I don't think she meant literally punch. Maybe she did, but from my take from that is that you have to go at him hard as far as his attacks back on him, on politically speaking. But obviously she doesn't care about that, because she said punch multiple times. You have to knock him over the head. So that's not the right way to say things when you're in a position of power. Somewhat. I mean, you have some pull of what goes on in the United States. If you're a representative, if you're in Congress, you're in a higher position. You need to be. You're also held to a higher standard than other people. You have to represent the people the correct way. You can't say things like this. So here's more of this. This is from Laura Loomer.
Hello, Congresswoman.
Horse manure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett.
But it sounds...
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence at the Tesla?
Oh my gosh. Snatched the man's phone away, or tried to. And he was just asking about her comments about she wants to see Elon taken down for her birthday on March 29th. Look, like, no matter how if you didn't mean it in a violent way, it doesn't matter. This is the type of rhetoric that people use on the left, that we've heard on the left, like Maxine Waters. You get in their faces, you see them at the gasoline station, at the grocery store, you get in their faces, let them know they're not welcome here. Things like that. I mean, these are the types of things that lead to that somewhat, it can incite violence, because people may take that literally. Then you see these things just happening with Tesla, with Tesla's being burned up and vandalized. So she wants to see Elon taken down. I mean, you just have to watch how you say things. And she just seems very loose. She doesn't seem very professional, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Just seems very very just ghetto, just the type of woman I would not want to hang around. So here is what what happened to him back in 1984. Texas Governor Abbott has received the full amount of the lawsuit settlement from the 1984 incident that put him in a wheelchair, $8.9 million. Abbott, 65, this article was written back in 2024, was the state's attorney general in 2013 and running for his first term as governor when he decided to voluntarily release copies of the September 1986 agreement to the media. He won a third term as governor in November. He was 26 at the time of the incident when he went for an afternoon jog on a windy day through River Oaks in Houston. A limb snapped off a large tree as he was passing under it, crushing his spine and damaging his kidneys. Abbott sued the homeowner and tree care company and won a settlement which shows tax-free annuities and graduated payments. The payments began with a $300,000 check in 1986. They include both monthly payments that will continue for the rest of his life and lump sums that are deposited every 3 years until the final one last year. So he's getting paid the rest of his life, and he received a larger payment as well. So, you know, Jasmine Crockett, you can call him all the names you want, but this guy is laughing back at you all the way to the bank. He doesn't seem like he's wasteful with his money, so I'm sure this guy's invested it properly. You know, he's done very well as far as where he's in the political arena. And I read that because he was in bed, he was paralyzed, so he just immersed himself into politics. He started reading, and he took a very keen interest in political stuff. So he just read a bunch of books, started learning law and everything he could about, you know, politics and law, and he just immersed himself into it. So that's how he has gotten to where he is, because he studied it heavily, with him being paralyzed and being in bed for so long, or being unable to walk or unable to really do anything. So that's how he, you know, became what he is. He was Attorney General. He was a Supreme Court Justice here in the state of Texas. You know, and you know, first he was a Supreme Court Justice, then he became Attorney General, and now he's been the governor for since 2014. I mean, so the man has succeeded, given the fact that he has dealt with what he's dealt with, and he said it took a lot. Look, it took a lot he's dealt with a lot mentally, as far as coming to grips with the fact that he won't be able to walk again. So he's had some tough times, but he's also made the best of it, and he's used it to his advantage and say, you know what, I'm still capable of doing great things. And he was also voted most likely to succeed back in high school. I mean, so he must have done very well in high school, and people saw something in him, whether you like him or not. You know, I know a lot of people do like him, a lot of people don't. You know, it just comes with the territory when you're in politics, and especially in a high power position of power like him, in a state like this, a big state like Texas. So, I mean, so for him to ascend all the way to the governorship is pretty big. I mean, I'm sure he had some haters in high school. Maybe there was a woman who turned him down back in the day. You know, and now look at him, look where he is. So he's definitely a great success story. Like I said, whether you agree with his policies or not, whether you like him or not, left or right, he made the best of his situation and became a very prominent political figure in the state of Texas and across the United States. So I want to give a shout out to Governor Abbott for a great comeback story. You know, he lost his ability to walk at a young age, 26 years old, going for a run, and he's been very successful. He makes about $150,000 a year. That's what I read, as governor. So he's not doing bad there. Then you've made millions of dollars off this lawsuit. So the guy's not hurting for money. And Jasmine Crockett, I mean, you talk about him all you want, but $8.9 million. I mean, come on now. Yeah. But I'm going to leave that right there. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Take care.